This is the first 5 minutes of my podcast, Dismantle Institutional Power with AI. In this episode, I explore how artificial intelligence can help us see large institutions, not as mysterious giants, but as systems, with patterns, constraints, pressure points, and repeated behaviors. You can listen to the full podcast on my Substack. The link is in the first pinned comment.
I want you to imagine just for a second that you are facing down a massive, like a completely faceless institution.
Oh, which is always a terrifying feeling.
Right, exactly.
Mhm.
Maybe you're locked in a high-stakes legal battle or trying to navigate some sprawling corporate bureaucracy. Or honestly, maybe you are just staring at a seemingly impossible mountain of research and feeling, totally paralyzed.
Yeah, that sense of just sheer information overload.
We have all been there. It's the classic David and Goliath problem. But the thing about that story is David didn't win by fighting on Goliath's terms.
No, he didn't put on the heavy armor.
Right. He didn't grab a giant sword. He completely changed the structure of the encounter. And in today's deep dive, that is exactly what our sources are going to teach you to do.
It's such a fascinating approach, really.
It is. We are pulling from this really incredible set of field notes taken during live litigation, and these notes are specifically focused on how to dismantle institutional power.
And we are pairing those, right, with that viral guide by Mihailo Zoin, the one on out-of-the-box AI strategies.
Yes, exactly. Because our mission today is to build you a cognitive exoskeleton, so you never have to feel overwhelmed by that kind of institutional pressure again.
I love that phrase, cognitive exoskeleton,
Yeah.
because this really is a masterclass in reading systems rather than just, reading documents.
Which is such a massive shift in perspective.
It really is. What we tend to perceive as this impenetrable, overwhelming institutional power is, it's actually a structural vulnerability. It is just waiting to be mapped.
I love that framing, because the very first thing our sources tell us to do is fundamentally change how we see the giant, so to speak.
Right, you have to break the illusion.
Exactly. We have to move away from this idea of overwhelming power, because there is this cognitive mistake that almost everyone makes when they deal with a massive entity.
And it comes down to the illusion of complexity. Like when we look at a massive institution, whether that is a government agency or a multinational corporation or even just a sprawling university, we see scale.
Yeah, you see the huge buildings and the endless departments.
Right, the legal teams, the internal review chains, the archives, and we automatically assume that scale equals intelligence. And maybe more importantly, that it equals freedom.
We assume that because they are big, they can just do whatever they want. They hold all the cards.
That is the standard assumption, yeah. But the litigation notes argue the exact opposite. A large institution is actually what they call overdetermined.
Overdetermined. What does that mean in practice?
It means they are constantly juggling competing mandates. They have to satisfy legal defensibility, reputational survival, internal risk management, all at the exact same time.
Wow, so they are actually trapped by their own rules.
Exactly. They have to keep all these different administrative surfaces perfectly aligned. So because of that immense pressure, they aren't free at all. They are forced into a very narrow decision corridor.
Okay, I hear you, but I kind of have to push back on this a little bit.
Sure, go ahead.
Because when I think of massive complexity, my mind goes to, the weather. A hurricane is a massive, complex system.
Yeah.
It is chaotic, it is unpredictable, and it is completely free to destroy whatever is in its path. Are you really saying a massive multinational corporation isn't a storm?
That is a brilliant distinction, actually. And the author of our litigation sources makes exactly this point by separating surface complexity from structural complexity.
Okay, unpack that for me. Surface versus structural.
So a storm is a natural system. Increased variables in a storm create genuine chaos. But a corporation is an artificial system. A storm does not have, an HR department.
Right, it doesn't have a PR team worrying about a bad news cycle.
Or auditors checking its internal consistency. Institutions are bound by self-preservation rules.
Yeah.
They have to remain justifiable to themselves and to their regulators.
So a storm never has to defend its choices in a court of law.
Exactly. So that's surface complexity. The thousands of emails, the endless committee meetings, the contradictory memos, that overwhelms the eye. It looks like a storm.
But underneath, it's actually highly constrained.
Yes. The structural complexity, which is the actual number of constraints on their behavior, means their actions are incredibly repetitive. If you know how to look past the noise, They are highly predictable.
Let me see if I can ground this in a really low-stakes, everyday example for you, the listener. Think about trying to cancel a gym membership.
Oh, the absolute worst.
This is the first 5 minutes of my podcast, Dismantle Institutional Power with AI. In this episode, I explore how artificial intelligence can help us see large institutions, not as mysterious giants, but as systems, with patterns, constraints, pressure points, and repeated behaviors. You can listen to the full podcast on my Substack. The link is in the first pinned comment.